Hi everyone, I'm bringing you another post in my series Knowledge is a Good Investment, and today's post is about radon, specifically radon in the home. So what is radon? Radon is an odorless, tasteless gas that is given off by granite, and here in western North Carolina lots of homes are built on top of soil that has granite underground. So the radon can get into your home and accumulate to levels that are unsafe, and radon causes lung cancer. It's like kind of a big deal in terms of the dangers of high radon levels contributing to lung cancer. So you don't want to just live with it. But is it a deal breaker? If you're thinking about buying a house, is it a deal breaker? No, not necessarily. So it can be tested, the levels can be tested. Most home inspectors have electronic meters that they would leave in a home for at least 48 hours. And when they pick it up at the end of that 48 hours, it's going to give them the level of radon. So we have guidelines from the US EPA about what is an acceptable limit. And so if the level is above that limit, you're going to want to think about having it mitigated. And it can be mitigated. There are people who have licenses to do this, and the method of mitigation is going to depend on several factors. It's going to be unique for most homes, and it doesn't have to be unsightly. So I wrote a blog post about that. If you go down and look in the link below this video and you want to see some pictures of what is a radon mitigation system look like in a house, I've got pictures of them. They don't necessarily have to be unsightly. They can kind of blend in and look kind of like a gutter even on the outside of a house. What about if you are not buying a house, but you've lived in a house for a while and you're just thinking about radon and you're worried about it? Well, you can test it that way too. I mean, I just recently tested my house. I've lived in my house for about 25 years and I never tested my radon because we built our house ourselves and didn't really think about it until I got involved when selling real estate. So I got a test kit and tested it, and luckily it came back normal, within normal limits, within acceptable limits. So if it hadn't, I wouldn't have hesitated to have gotten the levels mitigated. But it is something you can do even if you have no intention of buying or selling, and I recommend that if you've lived in your home for a while. And so one other really important thing is, what about if you're looking at a house to buy, or maybe you live in a house and it already has a radon mitigation system in place? Are you scot-free? Maybe not. I just recently sold a house that had a mitigation system in place, and so I was thinking it's probably okay, but we got it tested. Guess what? It was high, so it had risen over time, and that house needed a second mitigation system installed, which is totally doable. It's not the end of the world. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a deal breaker, but it is just one more thing to be aware of. And if you got questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer them. My blog post has more information and charts and graphs and pictures and a link to the US EPA information related to radon. So check it out down below, and I'll see you next time.